Alright, hey guys, DJ Hyper here at our local championships we had today, and I'm here with first place winner. Introduce yourself, man.
I'm Zach. I played a deck that nobody here likes to play against, but it is Gabumon Bond of Friendship. So my numbers are a little weird, but hey, got us the first place today.
Okay, yeah, and let's get into the deck profile. Yeah, you know, if you want to, you can explain kind of your choices.
Okay. So first off, we started. I only run four babies. We got 4 Upa. I'm a peasant. I don't have the fancy ones. Nobody here around here has the fancy ones. But best baby. Sometimes it doesn't pop off, but somebody's usually gonna try to hard play a blocker or something. It comes up every now and then. But you could maybe run one more, but 4 rookies is just super consistent with Upamon. Next up, we have our start of our Gabumons. We have. Hold on, Pretty One's got to go first.
Oh, yeah.
We have the best rookie, Gabumon. This is the special one that goes along with it when you play a mat. The first effect when you play a mat hardly ever comes up unless it's already on the field. They check it in security. The big one is when it's a Bond of Friendship, you get the security or the extra swing. So we'll have these Gabumon, 4 draw Gabus. There's not much to say. It's just draw Gabu. You play it. You get a body on the board, you get to draw an extra card. It's just more cycle. 3 of the Searcher Gabus. This card can sometimes be good, sometimes be bad. It helps you find a tamer, but you have to make sure you have the other pieces, because the last thing you want to do is use this, search it, and then not run into any of your other parts because you tucked them all to the bottom of the deck and you didn't find a tamer. So just be careful when you play this. Next up, we have this Gabumon. This Gabumon does next to nothing in this deck other than the fact that it's a Gabumon. When the starter decks come out, what you really want to get is the starter deck one. I think it's when you have 7 or more cards in hand, you get plus 1,000. So that actually helps in some matchups where 14 may be a little small. But this one is definitely just here for Gabu. Replace it when the starter decks come out. Then we have 3 Strabi. I chose 3 because I don't want Strabi all the time. I don't want to always play it, but he helps you find your hybrids and your tamers. There's actually quite a bit of hybrids in this deck. Not as many as some, not as few as others. I find the number I have is good, but this is good to help find you a tamer and a hybrid if you're missing both of them. Last rookies are 2 Madoki Betamon. This card is slept on. Not everybody plays it in their Gabumon lists, but it is probably one of the most powerful cards. Just being able to turn off Memory Boost. It'll get much better when the starter decks come out. We're still pre-starter decks. They're supposed to come out next week. This will help stop things, but still against security control, it helps stop things like the reinforced Memory Boost that's running around right now. Next up, we have 4 copies of Lobomon for our hybrids. It is not much to say. You play a bunch of tamers. I think my list plays 7, so you have many options. This actually came up a lot. In my first match I played against security control, I had him at 3 security. He didn't have any recovery when I swung, and I just I played 4 tamers in one turn as Lobomons and the other one, which is Kendo Garurumon, which I run as a 2 of. It's just explosive. There's no interaction with tamers on your opponent's turn, on your turn for your opponent yet. Kendo Garurumon is one I would maybe try to find another one in. You could even replace a Lobomon. I played against Rookie Rush in round 2. This card literally saved me when I saw it because he couldn't keep a rookie on board. If he swung and it lived, I was going to kill one and bounce the other one back to their hands. So Kendo Garurumon, if you can find room, I could maybe see us playing 3 more and running 7 hybrids. Few techs. We play Grizzlymon, blocker. You're going to go to low security quite often, and if you don't have a way to block maybe something in raising or something that pops up on the field, then you're going to end up losing. So having Grizzlymon is really good so you can have a blocker. The only other champions we play, I play 2 Octomon. At first I was running more of a Rookie Rush version where I would run a bunch of Octomon and Gorillamon, but this comes up really well because it does help you cycle, and 7K sometimes helps you beat over even some small ultimates, level 5s in security. We only run 2 level 6s. We run 2 Magnadramon. You're going to burn your security. If you're at 5 security and you go into Bond, you're at 3, you can hard slam this Magna to stay at 5. or if you're in a dire situation, you can hard play it later on. It'll save you. This card literally saved me so many games, just being able to throw it down, you give them 8 or so or less if you have memory boost or something, but being able to recover 2 is awesome. Next up, the big boy himself, Gabumon. Not much to say here. Everybody knows his effects. He can tuck an entire board if they try to rush you down. Tucks a level 5 under the bottom of the deck. If you have if you have this Gabumon right here, you can swing 3 times with it. You can clear an entire board, and if you have 0 security afterwards, he sticks around. So if they can't kill you the turn that you play him and you're at 0 security, then they have to deal with him another turn. So he is probably the best card in BT6, in my opinion. Now we have our tamers, of course. Matt Ishida, he is the combo piece. He's the one that lets you cheat into Gabumon from an Agumon. If you can get 2 or 3 of these on the field, you can get plenty of draw power and plenty of memory, especially if you pair it up with your Davises, which we run 3 of. This is just a good card. Memory, tamer, so you're always starting at 3 memory. You get to search more. There's plenty of search, so it's really hard to not find your pieces unless you play them all in the wrong situation. So that's our tamers, and that's always good to go on top of our, or under our hybrids. For Hammer Spark, this is one thing that I was kind of bouncing off on, 3 or 4. 4 is great for right now. Until we get the new memory boosts, then this card kind of loses some viability. It's still incredible, gain 2 memory out of security or play it, but I would maybe cut 1 once the new memory boosts come out. A few more options. We have 2 Cocytus Breath and 1 Rattlestar. Rattlestar I thought was going to be good for the longest time, but it ends up being not as good against certain matchups because I always want to tuck something under the bottom of the deck, and this only lets me do it if there's 3 or more. So Cocytus Breath is good in a lot of situations. Against security control, I literally made him have all of his Zort defeats in hand because he tried to hard play and hit him out of security, and I just threw him back to his hand. And then the last option we have is 1 Howling Memory Boost. You could say maybe it's not worth enough to see it at 1, but it stops my opponent several times today, and it just holds it up. Then you get to pop it off for the memory. You're usually going to find it surprisingly well. And then this is probably a card that you can replace once the new memory boosts come out, so you can search. So, and that's it for the list.
Okay, so as far as with how the meta looks with BT6, what's your opinion on it so far?
I feel like right now, not as many people know how to play against Gabumon as well as they could. Just the amount of utility it has, good options, the easy access to tamers, the ability that he can swing so many times. It's so good against different matchups. Security control, if they don't have good security, you just win. If they do have good security, then it slows you down, but you can probably still come back because they have to devote so much memory. And if they're not running something like Gelt Schwarmer or the 3 Musketeers that runs that, then they can't really clear your board if you flood it. That's the only card that you're really super afraid of if you try to play more rookie run. Jessmon is something that I haven't run into too much, but most of the time, the only time I've lost against Jessmon, good security. Gaia Force, or that last little bit on my last swing of Gabumon, they get like Blade of the True comes out, and then they can have a blocker again. Good security is your worst enemy of this, so when you play security control, you have to be very careful how you do it. Make good use of your hybrids and your tamers if you do that. So, but other than that, it's really good. It's explosive. It holds up your opponents. Bottom decks a bunch of stuff, and you just go burr half the time. You're swinging 3 or 4 security every time you go for game. So.
Okay, all right then. Well, local championship winner right here, guys. Definitely appreciate the deck profile.
All right.
All right, that's it. Check out more videos to come.